Alright, do we have sound? I'll wait just a moment while you guys give me some feedback. Do we have sound now? No, very rarely do I watch the chat until I get going. But I'm going to wait a moment. Tell me if you hear me now. I turned on one of my microphones. Awesome. Okay. Oh, wow, I'm so bummed. Let me just go back and say the whole thing again. I am making a nautical card today. Hey, crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts. Welcome to Friday Free Play, where we do fun things and things together and all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm going to make a 6x6 card today in a nautical theme. Here is my recent card that I've made. I've got shimmer and all kinds of stuff in there. So basically it's going to be kind of like mixed media. So I'm using a 6x6 card today, and I'm using this stamp set by Hampton Art. I do have extras of these if you decide after that you really like it. I have this one. It is a memento die. Yep. And then I'm going to be using eyelash trim by Doris and cheesecloth. I have my name on this one so I don't accidentally sell it. We do have this in the store. Cheesecloth, 2.5 yards, 2 square yards. So I'm going to be using a whole bunch of this. I'm also going to be using Dilutions shimmer sprays. Now that I've used these for quite a few months, definitely take these sprayers out like you do with the resist spray and spray all the paint out and then run some water through it and leave it that for your next time. Because I'll tell you what, I've replaced 3 or 4 of these covers already. I was really disappointed. So also make sure that you're not shaking it up and down, that you're shaking it side to side so it's not being shoved up the nozzle. That mica in there can also get stuck. And then Aqua Dream sequins, and there's all kinds of stuff in there. But no, not buttons, beads and stuff. So this one goes really well with this, and that's why I chose to grab that one today. And the measurements are just 6x6 for your flat front piece. Well, let me just say it this way, because you guys didn't hear me what I said before. So you need one piece that's 6x6.5. This is my 6.5. That's where I scored it at the 1/2 inch. And so you can either put them together with this one on the top and fold it over and have that showing on the back of the card, or you can do it this way, fold it in and have it show on the inside of the card like this one. This one shows on the inside. If that doesn't bother you, that's the cleanest look because you don't see it at all on the outside. But that's totally up to you. So one 6x6, one 6x6.5. Now you want to make sure that you have the one that's 6x6.5, but more importantly, pick which side, which piece you're going to be doing all of your assembly on, so that when you put it together, it goes where you want it to go. So since I'm going to do mine this way and put it on the outside, then I know that this is my workspace right here. So last time I did this, I did some spraying in the back, and I like this white trim, so I'm going to try to kind of copy that one. Oh wow, it's raining and there's sunshine out there. Interesting, I could hear the rain. I'm going to put my purple tape around the edges because when I put it in my spray box, I still want to be able to remove this and see the white. I'm going to need some more purple tape pretty soon. And a lot of the garbage mail that I've had recently has been from our financial institutes. These Ivy things. I decided I'm just going to throw them in here, and then when I don't, like if I don't want to put on here because it's rolling up, I can just tear off that page and then use another one. And so I always have this like area here. Don't want that to be showing either, but we'll see how it works out. I have 2 shimmer sprays by Dilutions. One is called Poison Jade and one's called Periwinkle Blue. So I'm going to do a little bit of each of these. And they're going to leave a shimmer, which is what I love, which is why I like to use these. So if you look real close in this one, look at all that shimmer underneath. So that's what I'm doing here. That is so pretty. It even, you know, all the big drips that I got on there, that adds to the water-like quality. So I guess if you want to try to do the drips, that looks pretty good. You can do that. And this is sticking to my purple tape. So I'm just going to take most of that off, just so I don't get it all over. It's still, you're probably going to get dirty anyway, but I'm going to show you how slick that works. Look at that. Beautiful. Do it through stencils and stuff too. It's gorgeous. And you can add whatever else you want, but I like that look, so I'm going to stick with that. You can tell I was already playing around with the green because it got all over me and I had to get another spray nozzle. We also sell those, although there's only one left. So if your spray nozzle stops working, it fits on like almost everything in the distress line, I believe. Like it fits on your resist spray. If you put it on the outside, couldn't you front it with your designed front? You can do whatever works for you. There we go. That's beautiful. Okay, I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not done. Alright, I'm giving this a little bit of time to dry, even though it looks like it's totally dry. It's not. So I'm gonna emboss stuff over the top of this. So here's how I know if it's dry. I know I'm going to emboss over it, so I want to make darn sure that this is not going to stick to everything. And it looks like it's not. Look at that. Alright. Now I got to turn off my ceiling fan or it's going to blow everything away. There we go. I didn't take that into consideration when I started, so make sure that you don't have anything blowing. It still feels wet to me, but it's not sticking, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. Get out my Versamark. That's that invisible sticky ink that'll keep your embossing powder where it is. And also my little buddy. I'm still going to use this on top, make sure that I don't get this stuff where I don't want it to go. some of this stuff on here, I have it just stamped in black. Some of this stuff I have just embossed in white. I've got some fish, I've got some other stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and put whatever I want, wherever I want, and that's just going to be how it shows up. And if I want to go off the edge, I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper here, and I'm going to put that down on the edge to make sure that I don't get marks on my white side. I could have waited until the end, but I just feel like this is the easiest way to do it, to keep everything kind of compartmentalized. And then we're also going to run some of this through too, as well, in the Gemini Junior. So I got to move a few little things out the way. Alright, so I'm going to do the white stuff first. All the white ones. So some of these images can be black, some white, some... oh, you know what would look really pretty is that iridescent one too. I think that would be really cool. I'm going to add in a couple of shells this time. I didn't do that last time. The shell is pretty. And I'm going to get some of that. I'm going to use the kaleidoscope for a few of them and see how they turn out. And right away I'm going to do just a few of them so I don't have to come back and stamp them all again. Did that. I tapped it a couple more times over the garbage can just in case. Just in case. Alright, now these are hard to see, so probably not going to be my choice in the future. But it does add some glitter. I'm just going to touch it and make sure did I get it all? I think so. So as you can see, they're the shape of shells, but I didn't get exactly what I wanted. However, this is going to be a background with all kinds of stuff, so it's not going to matter. You're not going to be pointedly looking at that wondering why it looks so bad. It won't matter. But I am going to do some white fish because I really like the way those turned out. And you can use like white paint, but usually white pigment paint takes so long to dry that I find that frustrating. So I'm going to use white embossing powder instead of like an ink. You guys, if you're missing out on the zooms, you are really missing out. We really get to know each other. The fish are so cool. I'm not going to have them all going the same way. Like some of these are going to show and some of them aren't, and that's just what you get when you do a background and then you add on. Before I knew before I knew a lot about mixed media, which I still don't know a lot, but I like to practice it from time to time, is that I was always so frustrated that they covered up all the beautiful stuff on the background, but I was so obsessed with that I didn't give myself permission to go any further. And so I always loved all the layers and all the things, and that looked so cool, but I was unwilling to cover up my background. So once I got past that, things started really looking cool. Okay, what else do I want? I do want some of those. Oh, I know. Last time I didn't use the octopus. I definitely want to add that this time. Oh, you know what? I really want to emboss him in black. So I have most of them. The ones that I use very often, I have them in these little containers like this so that I can just use them straight and everything falls right back into the container, so I don't have to do that fold up the paper trick. You know what I'm talking about? Fold up the paper trick and try to get it back into the jar. That doesn't always work for me, so let's skip that step by keeping all of the stuff right in this container. Oh, see, now I got a fingerprint right there that it totally stuck to on the edge. I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, those are really going to stand out. This is really cool. Sometimes I remember to bring my brushes over so I can just tap some of this up. I'm going to use this one, it's the closest, so it doesn't just stick to my fingers. Okay, let's do those. Cute. Ooh, those look really cool. Very cool. Okay. These sprigs also. These are really cool. They almost look like something Christmassy, but I use it kind of like a seaweed. Try trying to decide. I had it white before. Maybe I want to try to do a little bit of some kind of green. Green. I'm thinking if I try a colored ink and put clear on the top, I should be able to get a glossy green. Let's try that. So this is a trick if you don't have certain colors. Use your markers and your inks. And I want a really nice clear green, so I'm going to go in for a regular, not mowed lawn, maybe something a little bit more dusty. Maybe pine needles. Yeah, I like that look. They're going to be a little more vibrant, I think, than the oxides, which I also love. So what I'm going to do, let's see, a little bit of this first, then my green, and then put that down. I'm going to try one real quick so we can see what kind of look we get in case I don't like it. So I stamped it in the Versamark to make it more sticky. And then I went into the color I wanted, and then I put it on the paper. Oh wow, check that out. It does look green from my end. It's just a very deep green. It's beautiful. So I'm going to do a bunch of these. I think they're awesome. I didn't even bother going off the edge this time because I don't want to have to worry about putting anything up. I just want to make sure I have time to hop off here for the patron only sale tonight and be set up and ready for them. So I just on purpose. Now normally I would definitely do a bunch that hang off to make it look more natural, but that's okay. I don't want that all over my octopus. that would be silly. Okay, I've got two more. Let's go ahead and heat set those after I put a couple pieces away. Put my stamps away first because I tend to lose things. So do that. This one is a heat craft tool. It's the same, they heat to the same amount, but this one blows it around a lot, like less powerfully. So it doesn't blow everything around, it heats and dries. This one is super hot and is made for embossing. So it's going to emboss it 10 times faster than that other one. Also, this Sizzix tool has two speeds. It has a low speed and a high speed. So if you only have it in the budget for one, I suggest getting the Sizzix one. But if you can get both, I love this one. I use this one all the time. Alright, so you get the gist of that kind of a thing. We could add a ton more of stuff, but I'm not going to because we're already almost at 5:30. The reason why this one is super flat is because my first one, I didn't do it directly on this paper. I did it on a separate piece of paper, and then once I got my card glued together, I just glued it on top. So if you're worried about all this warping and stuff, feel free to do it on a separate piece of paper and add it later. So now I have to think about like my sentiment and stuff. And last time I just ran a black band right across the middle so that I could put my sentiment on it. And I also popped it up. Well, hello, Jamie. Oh, that's going to be a little bit too big. And I'm also just going to put this right on top right away. Even though if you have issues with stamping or embossing, make sure you do your stamping and embossing first. Make sure that you get it the right way that you want it and then put it on. Because this is kind of tricky if you put something right on the top and then you have to cover it up because you made a mistake. Not too big of a deal, but then you're going to have to like fussy cut this to put it on top, or you're going to have to lay something right over the top of it. It's just going to be a lot harder. And now I'm trying to position it so that I see what I want to see underneath. And I'm going to go right here. Looks good to me. Snip off the edges. That looks pretty. Okay. I also did, my sentiment was the dream one right here. So I'm thinking maybe, how about you float my boat? That's different. The other one said dream. I'm going to go with float my boat this time. And because it's black, my sentiment is going to be white. Don't forget my buddy, so I don't accidentally get the whole thing white. So that'd be disappointing. Float my boat. You know what? I'm also going to add some little boats here. Little bitty boats. One on this side. And one on this side. I didn't stand up to see how they were all symmetrically and perfectly together and whatnot. But that is okay. Need my white back. Thanks, Danielle. I do have extras of this set if anybody wants one, you can let me know. So now I'm just dripping this down, tapping it off back into the case. Get out my brush because I can see lots of places over here. I must have touched it with my hand, or there was some oil or who knows, something else on there. I accidentally brushed it off my boat. I don't know if you can tell, but do you see I accidentally knocked it off my boat there. I made it a lot worse so you could see it. If you go over that and drop some more powder on there, it's going to just totally stick and fix it. We played around with the properties of that the other day on one of my other videos. You might have remembered. We covered it and then wiped it off and then covered it again a couple different times to see how far it would go. It stays wet for a long, long time. Even I was shocked. I was like, wow, it's still sticking. Alright, you float my boat. But we're not done, and I should have not put this underneath, but I'm going to show you a trick since I... Oh, you float my boat's got to go back in. And my little boat. The name of the sea critters is, there is no name, but it's from Hampton Art. I didn't find the name to it. So I'm not sure to tell you. There's no name on it. Alright, let's see if I can get a piece of this cut out. Use white. I'm not going to cover this whole thing. I just need some of this. So, cutting side goes up. I have to put my sandwich back together. This one goes back on the bottom. Ooh, look at most of it came falling out already. So right after this is the patron only sale. So if you're a patron, I will put the link in the patron group, the private group. And we are doing it on Zoom again because that seems to be working for us at the moment. I'm using this brush to like roll all this stuff off. But for sake of cleanup, I'm doing it on right over my garbage can. I feel like some of it didn't quite get cut. So, I am going to use it as is. I just have to find an end for me to peel it up with. Okay, so that's what I have, but I'm not going to leave it all like perfect the way it is. I'm going to knock the rest of these out. And then I'm going to cut some of this off. So that's like too perfect for me, and I don't want to see these edges, so I'm just going to cut that off. Same with this one. I'm just going to cut down and then cut the edge off. So it looks more like a net and not like something that like we just perfectly created. So here's what I said. I could have been able to lay this down, but it would have went under here and I forgot all about that. So my trick is you just find a spot where you want it to be and then cut it down and glue it on how you like it. I'm thinking this looks pretty good, so I'm just going to tear some more off. And then down here, I'm going to have some coming out this way. And I'm just going to tear some off with my finger because it doesn't matter if these are perfect or anything like that at all. I usually use my spray stuff, but it hasn't been working out all that great, so I'm going to try this. It's kind of a pain in the booty. I changed it too. Changed it from the way it was falling. As long as you get some of it down, the rest will just kind of hang there and play out, so no big deal. Just make sure you get some of it down. And I usually get too much on there. It's too much. Oh. Okay, it's staying. Take a moment just to wipe some of that all the glue off my hand. Nope, I'm going to need this. I'll leave this out. So some of the other stuff I had on was some of this eyelash trim. This stuff is really pretty. This gives it a really, and you can even dye this another color if you wanted to drop this in some dye and water and whatever. But I like the kind of goldish tone it gives. So basically I'm going to put down a little bit of glue where I want it. Excuse me, hopefully it'll stay. If I can't get this to work, then I move on to glue dots. Hi, Sharon. Nope, I'm going to have to use a glue dot. And I'm not putting them down the way you're supposed to put them down. I'm actually going to roll mine because I don't want them to be seen. I want everything to cover that up. Did I get it down? Nope, it went on my other nail. There we go. Then I can put this wherever I want it. So I'm just going to continue with my glue dots. Glue dots just, they're so hefty. They just want to stick with you. It's kind of crazy. Oh, I almost lost my blower. Put it back in there. Okay. Put a little bit right there. And you know, however you want to do it, totally up to you. I'm going to cut that piece off. I'm going to do one more of these bad boys. I'm going to try to push that underneath so it doesn't show. Perfect. I like that look. That's really cute. I got some more just in case I'm not happy with it when I'm done. And then also with the cheesecloth, I should have put it all the way underneath, but if you're running on a project and you're like, oh, I really wanted to add that, we still can. We're going to use the same premise as we did with the, what do you call that stuff? Just the die cut, the wavy die cut. And this stuff you can also color very easily with spray or inks. So this is really fun to have around. There we go. Looks really cool when you pull it too. You can do whatever you want with it. So I think I'm going to add some really funky little lashes of this, like right here. I'm hoping this will stick to the glue, so I don't have to struggle with the glue dots again. Then I'm going to tuck it underneath where the glue is sitting, and I think I want to add this really stringy piece. This is cool. See, my fingers are still full of glue. Okay. So I'm going to put that one like right under here. Okay, and then we have this like little wispy part that you just kind of want to have it like stick to something. That is really pretty. See, now we've covered up a lot of the back, but all the layers make a big difference in what you're looking at when you're done. I had to learn that the hard way. Yep, so I am going to finish up here. The last thing that I usually add, and right before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and glue these two card pieces together. And I'm going to use ATG, so I don't have to worry about wet glue. If it comes apart, then I can worry about it. Add something a little heftier. That might keep it on better, but I'm going to face mine to the rear of the card. And then I'm going to check it out. And check it out. Look at this. Paper never seems to be the right size that you think it's going to be, I swear. So I'm just going to fix that by chopping off this other piece to go with the top piece. Easy peasy, not going to sweat it. A little bit off of this side as well. Okay. And then it's going to open, and you don't see it on the inside, you see it on the back. Okay? So, some of you guys are probably like, well, what about these? What about these? Oh, I always put these on with a bunch of wet glue, and then you can either pour it on or you can pour it into your hand and pick the ones that you want. Because maybe you don't want certain things that are in that mix. That's okay. Do what you like. Smash them into the glue. These are going to take, these are going to be a little bit harder to get to stay. Just make sure that you put down enough glue, and you can put these wherever you want. I'm going to put a few here. I'm going to add another glob of glue because I want this little bead to be in there. So you can get as picky or as, you know, wide as you want with these things. It doesn't matter. It's all about what you like and how you like it to look. So tap, see if things are staying. If they're not, put them in another place. Add some more glue. Thing is that they're so darn cute. You definitely want to have some of these in your project. And the glue will dry clear. Depending on what glue you're using, most of mine just dry clear. So here I've got a whole bunch of those. They just add this really cool element to the card. This one, I hung the little anchor from it, which is cute. And I did some more embossing. That was made with these, the Ranger Sparkle Embossing Powders. And they've got like stuff added to them, so they're not just, you know, they're the color and they're sparkly and they've got all kinds of stuff added to them. So I have two different cards that came from that are both just as beautiful. Did you enjoy this one? If you do, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my videos, and there's a little bell icon that gives you now a pull down menu for 3 choices. If you click all, it's going to notify you of all my videos that go live, not just this one on Fridays. So I go live every Friday, but I do have 2 other videos I release during the week, and they're all at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and the other 2 are on Mondays and Wednesdays. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 o'clock. And then we are also offering Zoom get-togethers, crops. You can just come in and talk. You can just come in and work the whole time and don't talk, or you can come in and craft and do both, which is what most of us do. It's super fun. It's on Zoom. You get to see everybody's faces. It's made a world of difference to those of us who have been in them and in them consistently, in getting to know all of the excellent people that are in this group. You won't believe it. Generous, beautiful, loving people, and their problems are our problems, and so we lift each other up, which is what everyone is asking for in society right now, is to be lifted up. So I do hope that you'll join. It's Quality Crafts on Facebook. We can connect you to all the things. There's friendly people in there all the time. I also have a Patreon group, so if you want to be a part of the family and uplift this community and keep it going, please pledge on patreon.com/qualitycrafts. And a reminder to patrons, if you're coming to the patron only sale tonight, make sure that you go into our private group to get the link to Zoom. All right? Sure hope you guys enjoyed this, and I cannot wait to see you guys next video.